Shakedown.
That's how you do it. What's going on? Good morning, everyone. This is your guy, Pat Bernard, with It's a Ref Sports Network, here with the Attacking Third. 5 years of the Attacking Third. My gosh. And really, right now, the Philadelphia Union are the only team that we can hang our hats on in Philadelphia sports. And in the last, since Thursday, Philadelphia sports has been on a downward spiral, right? And nothing against the Philadelphia Flyers, nothing against the 76ers. Those teams are going through the motions of rebuilding. The 76ers, God knows where they're at as far as whether they're going to be rebuilding. I know they want to go younger, but again, until Joel Embiid is off the floor, until they get a new storyline in here, it is what it is. But however, I digress because the Philadelphia Eagles look like an inferior Super Bowl team. It's not the team what it was. And the Phillies, we all know the story. Their season is over. However, the Philadelphia Union pick up their supporter shield. That's right, supporter shield. And it's funny when you watch guys from this network. Like I watched Matty B last night, right? Matty B's like, supporter shield, and Mike Lauer, supporter. And these guys have no idea what it means to win the supporter shield. So I have to school the non-soccer heads on this network. And when you win the supporter shield, that means you're the best regular season team. And now we know regular season championships mean nothing because it's all judged in playoff time. That's where because when you lose and how you lose at the and when you lose at the playoff level, that just says your regular season's been washed. It doesn't matter what all the regular season accolades that you've done mean nothing. So now we are with the Philadelphia Union. They win the supporter shield. They win the regular season championship, which means they get an invite to the CONCACAF tournament, which means you're playing with the big dogs of North America and all the regular season clubs. And right off the bat, my man, Joe Hale checking. Hey, everyone, just stopping to the show. Some love from work. I love it, Joe. Thank you so much. Thank you, chiming in from work, buddy. I really do appreciate it. That's why I'm live. That's why I'm here. I'm your brunch time. Best record in MLS? Yes, I totally agree. The Philadelphia Union do have the best regular season team. But that's not going to matter come postseason time. And credit now to the Union 2, who now running it back to this Sunday. If you have nothing to do, I know the Eagles are on the road, but they're at 1 o'clock game. If you want to stop by, swing by Subaru Park. Check out their minor league system. The one thing about the Philadelphia Union, they know how to pump out winners in their farm system. But now let's talk about this Union team, right? Let's talk about the ups and downs because really, again, the storyline of this Philadelphia Union team goes back to square one, goes back to the head coach, Bradley Carnell. That's where it all comes back to. That's where it all stems from. Great show as always. Thank you, Joe Howe. Like, it goes back because it really is quite the storyline. And again, me and Steve Fernandez have talked about this for quite some time. We've talked about Bradley Carnell taking over from Jim Curtin and how is this franchise going to turn around. And there was people that were going to hope that this Bradley Cornell guy was going to fall on his face because they want to prove the Philadelphia Union was wrong about letting go Jim Curtin. So you let it play out and you see what kind of coach Bradley Cornell was going to be and what he's become. And if anything, I don't think there's a Union fan out there that can discredit the front office for making this move. Because the proof's in the pudding. You're the first team to get the 20 wins. You are the first team in a long time to get the Supporters Shield. Like, think about where this team was a year ago, not even making the playoffs. Now they get a first-round bye. Like, that's awesome work by, again, the way Bradley Cornell, and other than Union fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but that Vancouver game was really the only time this team really got thumped. I mean, listen, there's been losses. There's been ugly losses where they lost maximum of 3 goals, which haven't been pretty. But Vancouver was the only time I've seen this team get their doors blown off. And maybe the team just were joining the sites. I'm not going to make excuses. But when you look at the Philadelphia Union and the job that Bradley Cornell has done, and really, again, just getting the best out of his players. Like, he really does. And it's what I love about it. He always mixes up formations. You think that Ty Burrivo is going to be the starter. He'll be coming off the bench. It's what he sees on tape. And again, his message has been the same since day one. It's about pushing each other through practice. And what he sees, who's ready, who's stepping up in practice, will get the nod for the start. And this weekend they were on a bye, but the weekend before they played against NYCFC and they won 1-0. Miguel Uwa and NYCFC has been playing great soccer. I mean, they're going to the playoffs up until this point, and the Union get a shutout victory. Like, the Union own real estate in NYCFC's head, especially when it comes to playing at Subaru Park. Miguel Uwa gets a goal, and again, he creates separation. He finds the back of the net. He gets his 6th goal of the year. Like, this team is rocking and rolling. Now, like, when I look at this team, it's they're clicking on cylinders. Now, if you go to the stat sheet, right, there's not really a top. They don't have a guy listed in a top 10 category anywhere, right? Andre Blake's been up and down with injuries. You have Ty Burrivo, who's not always filling in the score sheet. He came out of the gates real hot, but he's been, I don't say MIA, but he hasn't been his best form. Then you have, and then you have guys who are, being decent assists, like Kai Wagner is pretty decent with the eagle eye, being a facilitator with the ball. But still, I don't know what makes this team so great, but they're getting the job done, and that's all that matters, right? They're winning. They're picking up victories. They're picking up victories against teams that they should, right? They're on the 3-game winning streak. They beat New England. They beat up DC. They beat up the bottom feeders. They beat up NYCFC. But now they're going to face a Charlotte team. They're going to be on the road. I can't believe this regular season's come to an end this weekend. So they're going to play in Charlotte. Charlotte's a good team. Ian Tamaki is really doing wonders for that Charlotte team with 11 goals. You have Peppa Peel with 10 goals, 12 assists. Wilfred Zaha with 9 goals, 10 assists. I mean, they got playmakers down there in Charlotte. But so did the Union. The Union can match it. But this is where the Union struggle. They just, again, Philadelphia on the road, 8-6-2. At home, 12-1-4. Like, that's their record between the two. So again, not really that great on the road. A lot of losses there. But again, they can make up ground if this team could play the way they do. Now I'm wondering what Bradley Cornell's going to do here. Like, regardless of whether they win or lose, they got the number one seed locked down. They're still going to get their bye. So if they lose, it's. But I wonder if he's going to go with the routine of let me keep my guys fresh as possible because they are going to get that bye. The starters are going to need that playing time because you've seen it in other sports. You don't get these guys to play. The rust will be there. The rust will be there. And we don't want the Union to have any kind of rust, right? We want them to be really, really good. So, again, like I said, the Philadelphia Union right now, 66 points, 20 wins, 7 losses, 6 ties. I mean, this team is really doing its thing, man. This team is really doing it. But now the big question is going to be, how far can this ride go? Because now the expectations got to change out for Bradley Cornell. Just if you were like that, maybe wild card team, the expectations wouldn't be so high. But I wonder, as Union fans, where do you have them now? Because do they have to make a championship run? And I wonder if you're the casual Union fan. So listen, the Matty B's, the Al's, the Safiris, the Mike Lauros, the guys who were really not into soccer, not at all. But hey, listen, I'll keep my eye on it because they are a Philadelphia team. They are a playoff mode. They are now a championship caliber team. So now I wonder, how far do the Philadelphia Union go? How far do you want? What's your expectations? Because now, to me, it's I don't know if it's a little harsh to say championship or bust, but you got to have that expectations, right? Because you are the number one seed, because you're the best regular season team. But however, the East scares me. I'm not going to lie to you. The East scares me. Right? I mean, check this out. I mean, the East has been locked up. Other than some playoff scenarios could change as far as seeding wise. But you look at it, right? Number 1, Union. Number 2, Cincy. I'm not scared of Cincy. 3, Miami. Miami, I don't want to deal with Miami. And now I get it, best of 3 series, whatever happens. This is the best scenario for the Union because Miami, right now on paper, would be playing against Nashville, another team that's got the Union's number, another team that's been slapping the Union around this year. I don't know if I want that. And Messier is playing out of his world right now, out of his mind. I don't know if I want to go nowhere near Messier either. Charlotte at 4, 5 at NYCFC. I would love to take on any of those 2 teams. Nashville, I don't want to go nowhere near Nashville. Orlando, I'm not afraid of Nashville. And you got to hope. This could be the scary part. You got to hope that Chicago can take care of the Columbus Crew in that wild card round. Because you got to remember, the wild card round is only one, one win or go home kind of a situation. Every other series is the best out of 3. So, and I gotta be honest, I don't like this. I've been totally against it. I know that they've been running with this things for the past 2 years. I've been totally against it. I do not want to say Union MLS soccer playing in December. That's not fair to the players. It's too cold. Who wins? Yes, you win a championship, but you're going to be too tired and too fatigued when the season starts in February. So there's really no time if you are the champion. Like, there's never going to be, to me, a dynasty team in MLS. Never. So, again, but then again, like, if the Union can make it to the championship round, I'm not, I can't say I'm afraid because this team got embarrassed by Vancouver. And Vancouver right now holds the 1 seed out there in the West. So if you look at the West too, right, you have Vancouver at 1, San Diego at 2, 3 LAFC, 4 Minnesota, 5 Seattle, 6 Austin, Texas, 7 Portland. Now there's only 2 spots left open, depending how this weekend shakes up. 2 spots, 4 teams battling for them: Dallas, Salt Lake, Colorado, and San Jose. That's it. That's it. And 2 of the 4 teams will make it. So again, it interesting to see how this shakes up too this weekend, because playoff seeding is going to change, could change. We got to see what's best for this Union club moving forward. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of. This is what, it's crazy, but this is where head coaches get judged, really. Because you could always look at years past and say whether this guy was in your top head coaching tree or not. And this, like I said, this is where the head coaches get judged. We've seen it with Topper, right, with the Phillies. Good regular season coach. But postseason, this Phillies team has been backpedaling. And now with the Union, this is going to be I don't know if it's fair to judge Bradley Cornell, because it is his first year. But like I said, the expectation has to change because you are the 1 seed. And how they survive defines them. Will they make a run? Will they be a one and done? Because if they are a one and done, it's kind of not going to be happy. It's going to the Union fans. I wonder if they are going to be upset. And I'm not talking about the sheep either from the Sons of Ben. I'm talking about the realist Union fans. Like, how do you take this squad if they are going to be a one and done? Because I got to be honest, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be a little angry if they would be a one and done. Because it's pretty much the same players. They added a few pieces. They moved on. I get Daniel Gazdag. But really, it's pretty much been the same team. And if this team comes up small in the playoffs, it's not going to look good. And you're going to have to ask for moves. And just think about all the moves that they moved. Think about them moving on from Daniel Gazdag, the guy who led this team in who led the league in penalty goals, who was a big time playmaker for the Union. Again, cracked their all-time scoring leader and all that stuff. They move on from. And then the Columbus Crew just barely made the playoffs. They had a hot start. So where do you judge Bradley Cornell, Union fans? Where do you judge them? Would it be, if this team goes out in the first round, are you going to be upset? I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be angry, to be honest. Because this team on paper is better than that. But then again, we're going to be a team that can beat the Union in a series. It's different. It's different when you see a team just once or once in a while, but to play them in a series, maybe and I guess the X factor is going to be Andre Blake's health and how good he's going to be, because if he's dealing with lingering injuries, that can hurt the squad. And how I guess the real X factor is going to be Andre Rick, because he's going to need to be ready to go if something goes down with Andre Blake, if he's not going to be healthy. Like, if he's not going to be healthy, then you're going to need Andre Rick to be on his A game, because it's always going to come back to the goaltender. More importantly, too, the defense that's in front of the goaltender, because this team gets themselves in line every time Andre Blake's on the field. Because he knows that guy demands the room. That guy is going to yell at his players if something goes wrong. And who's going to be the big player maker on offense? come playoff time. Because now you don't have Quentin Sullivan, one of your better facilitators on the field. And it sucks because he's got that torn ACL. But who's going to step up here? Who's going to be the best playmaker for this team moving forward? A lot to be asked for. A lot. And I'm wondering who's going to be the guy. Who's going to be the playmaker? Will Ty Baribo find himself? Will Miguel Ua? Whether it's going to be an unsung hero that's coming off the bench like a Bedoya. Malaloski. I mean, they have plenty of options. Westville's a pretty good, decent facilitator, too. Don't let that get out of my mind either. But again, this team's going to have a lot of questions that need to be answered. And like I said, this is what judges that winning that supporting shield will mean nothing if they're a first-round exit. If this Union team is going to be a one and done. Winning that supporting shield was a waste of time if the story is not finished here. So I think it's fair to judge Bradley Cornell if this team does not make it to the championship. This team's got to finish the story now. You're the 1 seed. You got to get the 1 seed expectations to go with it. Now, like I said, this Union team was a 4 and 5 seed. Okay, I'll let it slide. If it was a wild card team, hey, I'm just glad you made it to the playoffs. But no, you are the 1 seed with the best record, and you won the supporter shield. That means championship or bust. That's it. And I think that's fair to say. And people might say, oh, you can't say that. It's his first time coaching this team. No. The expectations change now. You're the first team to 20 wins, 66 points. I mean, if they win this weekend, you're just shy 1 point of 70. Think about that. There'll be no excuses. And the teams that you had problems with will be there. The teams that you skated by, all those the bottom feeders, the DCs, the who else is a bottom feeder that you wiped away? New England, Toronto. Those teams won't be there no more. Montreal, you can't pounce on those teams in the playoffs. You're going to have to take care of maybe the Columbus Crew if they're still there. Miami, Nashville, the teams that have been causing you chaos. You're going to have to put them away. And the problem is, can this team do it? Can this team hang with the big playmakers? Can this team hang, with Miami? That's going to be the key part. That's going to be the big thing here with this team. Because what if you're playing against Nashville? Can you hang with Mukhtar and Stan Sturridge? What's this team going to do? It's, to me, this is what defines coaches, what defines players. Like I said, winning that supporter shield will mean nothing if this team's going to be a one and done. Well, nothing. Like, what if the Union have to play Messier in a best out of 3 series? Like, you're going to have to outplay Messier, and that's going to be hard to do. And like I said, whether it's Messier or Nashville, Sam Sturridge, Henry Mukhtar, those playmakers, you're going to hang with those guys. You're not going to beat up on the bottom feeders no more. So again, this is going to be interesting to see what Bradley Cornell does this weekend. Whether he's going to bench a couple guys, whether he's going to give, the Ty Baribos X minute playing time. Because Charlotte's got playmakers too. Tamaki. Beal, Zaha. I mean, those guys can score goals. Those guys can score goals. They're great, with the assists. They can facilitate. They got playmakers over there in Charlotte, and they're going to the playoffs. They got their invite. But it's weird with this Charlotte team. Again, Tamaki just not too long ago got a hat trick against Miami, but they also lost to Montreal. So very up and down squad. Like I said, I'm not really aware, and maybe I should. Maybe I'm overlooking Charlotte if we have to face them in the playoffs. Maybe I'm overlooking a lot of these teams, but I know the ones that caused the Union chaos this year in the regular season. So to me, defense, I think is going to have to be on an uptick. The offense is going to have to be there. It's going to be curious and see if these guys can play in the cold. I've seen it. I was there for the opening night. I know this team can play in the cold weather. They did a number on Orlando in the cold. So maybe this is going to be a beneficial thing for the Union. Going to be real cold. You have to go through Philly. You're going to have to deal with the Sons of Ben. You're going to have to deal with the crazy fans. And now with the Union being the best team in the city right now, I would imagine every night's going to be a sellout. This is going to be Blue October. And see if this team's ready to go. And most importantly, again, going back to full circle, what's Bradley Cornell going to do? Can he sign off and win the big one? Because that's what's coming down to. I know other fans get excited for the U.S. tournament and the CONCACAF. To me, this is the one that matters. The MLS playoffs, to win the MLS Cup. If they want a parade to come down Broad Street, this is what needs to happen. They need to win. They're going to need to win the whole thing. And like I said, now they're going to see that there is going to be no more Montreals and DCs and New Englands and Torontos. You're going to play Cincy. You're going to have to play Columbus. You're going to have to face Nashville. You're going to have to face Miami. The big dogs. Can you put the big dogs away? Can you put them to sleep? I don't know if this team can. And to me, it all falls where if Andre Blake's 100% healthy, you got a good shot. You have a good chance of winning the whole thing. But if not, and Andrew Rick's going to have to be ready to go. He's got to be off that bench. He can't be sitting comfortable every game from here on out. He's got to be ready to answer the call when it's time to get called in. He's going to have to be ready to answer the call. The question is, can he answer the call? Is he ready to go? Will he be ready to go? And I know this team is young, and I know this team's got a lot of playmakers. But the regular season stuff now is going to be thrown over your shoulder because it's not going to mean anything. Playoffs is where you're judged. Playoffs is where you define. Champions. This is the champion time now. 3 years ago, this team was on the cusp of winning a championship. They went to the, and it's funny. Like Mike Lauro said that yesterday on the PM and the AM show, he's just expected the 20,000 whatever Union fans, the diehard Union fans are going to be the ones supporting this team, and I strongly disagree because when the Union played in the championship, MLS TV ratings went up by 20%. Went up by 20%. That's good. So don't give me the listen. Philadelphia wants a winner. They look for winners, and you do have a lot of casual fans, and that's for every sport other than the Eagles because this is a football town. Other than that, I mean, hey, listen, there's I know this is quote unquote the hockey town, but or this is a quote unquote 4-for-4 town, but you have your casual hockey heads. But if the Flyers are competing in the Stanley Cup, everyone's going to dwell towards the Stanley Cup. Phillies, not everyone's a diehard, live by the pitch baseball fan, but when Red October comes rolling around, the city gets full engaged. Same thing with the 76ers, same everywhere. That's why when we do post-game shows here, and our numbers are letting up because everyone's here to support. And now it's the Union's turn. My man Will Atkins check into the program. He goes, I'm pulling for the Union. Hey, at least you're pulling something there, Pad. At least you're pulling on something there, Will. No, listen, and that's good, and that's a Riverhound beat reporter from Pittsburgh. And that's our guy, Will Akins, again. Does a great job with the Pittsburgh sports desk. But he's pulling for the Union. And, it is going to be a remarkable story for this club. If they win the whole thing. Like I often say, Nick Sirianni, head coach, coach of the year for Philadelphia sports. If this Union club wins the whole thing, look out, because Bradley Cornell would shut up everybody. He's pretty much done that now. But to put duct tape on everyone's lips, the still the Jim Curtin Islanders, if you would, the guys are still in that Jim Curtin Islander. Switch on over, and there's nothing to knock from Jim Curtin, great head coach, but he's only been to the championship one time with this club. That's it. And listen, Jim Curtin, I got to know on a personal level. Great guy, friendly. He'll talk to you. He'll talk to you, anything besides soccer. Great human being, great mind. And now, there was a rumor that came out, I don't know how true it is, that New England wanted Jim Curtin to be their head coach, and he turned it down. He turned it down. He didn't want to be the head coach of Revolution. Now, that's just this rumor I'm reading. I don't know how true it is. I'm curious to know if there was any truth to that. But we'll see. But anyway, I mean, you go from Jim Curtin to Bradley Cornell, and now Bradley Cornell is the complete opposite. Right? He's not friendly. He's snippy. He's a snippy guy. He plays the smartest guy, and I like it because the results are paying off, and that's all that matters. He's got snippy with me, and as I'm a media credential, he's got snippy with me. He's got snippy with a couple of my friends who cover this team. But nonetheless, he's done a great job turning this franchise around. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Winnings. Now, and if he was being snippy and this team was losing, then I think every fan would gladly drive him to the airport. But he's winning. He doesn't need to hang out with you. He doesn't need to hang out with me. He doesn't need to give you a hug. He's here to do a job. He's here to turn this franchise around. He's here to bring out the best in this soccer team. And it's slowly, at some point, the casuals come around. And like I said, I don't know. I can't speak for other members on this network. But me, who watches every Philadelphia sports team, including the Wings, including the Water Dogs, I'm telling you, this is the only route to go down. And maybe the 4-for-4 guys laugh at me, and that's fine. But this is, to me, the only where you can hang your hat on, because of the storyline that's been involved with this team. All because there's a brand new head coach in town. But right now, this is where you go. But listen, let's not pull no punches with this team either, because if they lose in the first round, well then this winning supporting shield, this number one seed, this whole story will go down the toilet. Because we here judge you. Like I said, if this was a wild card team, all right, great. They're at least they turned around their franchise, and we would have been happy. If they're the 4 or 5 seed team, all right, you're being cautiously optimistic for our run, but you would just be happy they made it to the playoffs. But you 1 seed changes everything. And I want you guys to tell me, am I being wrong for that? Again, team has 66 points, 20 wins, 7 losses, 6 ties. And what I love, again, this past weekend we played against New York, they went with the 4-4-4. They went the 4-4-2. That means 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 strikers. And he's always juggling formations. He's always juggling players in and out. You don't know who's going to start. You don't know who's going to come off the bench. He doesn't have a star player to you have to prepare you for, because you don't know who's going to start. Their best player comes off the bench sometimes. Ty Brebo comes off the bench. They're like, wait a minute. Now who do I have to guard? Now you have to change up all your philosophies. That's what I love about it. And there's been one time where this team got power drived. Once. It was against Vancouver. But that loss made this team better. Made this team better. Because now they've collected a couple shutouts back to back. They went down to DC, thumped up. And again, like I said, they beat up bottom feeders. So I don't know if that really pushes the needle per se for a Union team, for Union fans. Beat up NYFC, okay. One of the better teams in the league. A shutout win. Matter of fact, I got the numbers for you. Against last weekend facing against NYCFC. 5 shots on net. New York only had 2. But they had complete ball control. Shots on net. 10 corner opportunities to make something happen. They probably would have had a 2-0 win if it wasn't for the goalie interference, which was the right call, by the way. I mean, I forget, I think it was Ty Bariba was too close into the box, and I might have been wrong on that one. But it was somebody was in the box. It looked like Ty Bariba. But again, this team knows how to create separation. The only problem, like I said, and this was in the beginning part, I haven't seen it so much recently, but there have been instances where this team would press all the way up. It means bring your defenders up when you think you're having an opportunity to score goals, and you're leaving your goaltender on an island all by himself, and the opposition would go the opposite way to make a goal. That would be scary at times. But again, we'll have to see what this Union team can do. Again, this weekend, I would imagine I imagine probably Cardinal. We talked about Jim Curran a lot in one segment. Bradley Cardinal is not going to rush anybody. I would imagine he's going to keep these legs fresh. I would imagine the one to keep them going, because they are going to get that number 1 bye. And this team is going to need a rest. So you let them get their number 1 bye, they pick up the dub, and go forward from there. But before I go any further, you know what I like to do. I know my main man's not here, Steve Fernandez. He'll be back soon. But I want to go around the league a little bit. Let's, my man Joe Howe is watching the program. I know you're at work, so you just enjoy your time there, obviously. And I'm going to go around the league a little bit. I want to go over the matchups that are coming up this weekend. All right, so let's go. Let's take a look at it. Atlanta United taking on DC United, a game that really doesn't matter. It's not going to input anything. Both teams are knocked out of the playoffs. I'm going to go Atlanta on this one. Atlanta's home against DC. DC's already they've been. I don't know what happened in DC. Every year I think that franchise is going to turn around. They hire and fire coaches and management and thinking that they're going to turn around their franchise and nothing. It seems like a franchise has been lost for years. You got Toronto and Orlando. Orlando needs the win here to move up in seeding. I'm gonna go Toronto. Toronto's home. I think they're gonna pull out the upset. I think they're gonna play for bragging rights, I guess, to make things harder for Orlando. You got NYCFC and Seattle. Well, actually, both teams need this win. Actually, probably my game of the week. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Seattle Sounders winning on the road up in Citi Field. You have New England and Chicago. New England has nothing to play for. I'm going to go Chicago winning on the road. Another tough game right here. Ooh, Nashville and Miami. Pre-playoff matchup before the matchup. Both teams needing this win here. Gosh, this is a good game. Both have high-powered offenses too. I'm going to go Nashville. Columbus taking on the Red Bulls. Red Bulls are coming in. I'm going to go Columbus. Columbus needs this win here. Columbus needs to be, because right now they are the 9th seed. That means they'd be playing on the road going to Chicago. They need this win. Give me Columbus. Cincinnati and Montreal. Give me Cincinnati. Another tough one, Charlotte and Philly. Charlotte's at home, Philly on the road. Give me the Union. Portland and San Diego. Portland really needs the win. San Diego, I got Portland winning. LA Galaxy and Minnesota. I think that's going to be your first draw. I don't know why. Don't know why. There's going to be a draw that falls somewhere, and that's what's going to. Supporting Kansas City and Houston Dynamo. Two teams have no playoff ramifications. Just looking for pieces for next year. And I thought Houston was going to have a shot at making the playoffs. Anything, they shot themselves in the foot. Give me a 1-1 draw there. Dallas really needs this win, but you're playing against a high-power Vancouver team. Give me Vancouver and Vancouver. Let's go. Oh, excuse me there. Like I said, a lot of good games coming up. St. Louis and Salt Lake City. Again, Salt Lake City needs this win. Give me Salt Lake. San Jose. This is their last chance of a romance. Even though they're hosting the game against Austin, I have them losing. Colorado. Another one looking to sneak into the playoffs. But you're hosting against LAFC. I have LAFC winning. Sorry, Colorado, you're not making the cut either. But that's my opinion. But anyway, and that's another thing too. I want to get, again, those are your matchups of the weekend. I want to get talking about. That's the one problem I had with Philly, if anything, going back to the game against NYCFCs. They had 3 yellow cards. 3. A little bit alarming. However, no red cards were drawn. But 3 yellow cards. And again, you're just checking in. You're wondering what's yellow cards like a warning. If you get a red card, that means you are suspended for a game. You get 1 game suspension, and they can also you can hurt your club, and you don't want to get red cards. You don't want a red card. Yeah, this Union team can't afford it. So again, guys, do you feel like the Union are going to win this weekend? I think so. I think they're going to right their woes on the road. And what's your expectation for the Union in the playoffs? Like I said, the 1 seed to me changes everything. Like I can't give Bradley Cornell a pass now. I know it's his first year coaching his team, but you lock up that 1 seed, it's championship or bust for me. It's championship or bust. No excuses. I don't want to hear that this is first time. No. It's champion, and it's not just him, mind you. I on the players as well. Everyone's accountable. Everybody. Andre Blake, if he's healthy, and I don't want to hear that he was playing banged up. If he's playing banged up, then sit him. I don't want to hear no excuses, no whining. You're the 1 seed. Play like the 1 seed. Vancouver's playing like the 1 seed. No excuses. I need this team to rise to the occasion. I need everybody to come forward. I need Ty DeBarriba. I need everyone on their A game. I need the strikers to play like strikers. You have multiple scoring opportunities here. None. There should be no excuses for a squad. You locked up the 1 seed. You got to play like the 1 seed. And I get it. Like I said, you're not a top 10 in any category. That doesn't mean anything. Like I said, the regular season the stats go out the window. Go right out the window with this club. Because it's a brand new ball game, and it means your expectations for me is championship or bust now. And I want to know, is that fair? Am I being wrong to say? And for you guys, again, Union 2, make the playoffs. Second best team in the East. Play against Cincinnati at home. So you guys want to get look at a little bit of their future, look at their youth. Come out this Sunday, 4 o'clock. Check them out. Check out this squad. Again, they're going to have to try to figure things out without Quentin Sullivan because obviously he's dealing with the leg injury. But again, Marcus Anderson, forward, Ty DeBarriba, forward. Midfielders, you're going to have to get Ben Bender. Actually, he's playing against his old squad this weekend, getting down there playing in Charlotte. But you're going to Brun Diami, who's been lights out in September, who's been playing lights out in September. He's going to need to be a major playmaker for the squad come playoff time. Again, Ian Gnunovic. You had some of the moves that some of Bradley Cornell's buddies who came over with him, like Ian Gnunovic. Jacob Glasnost is going to have to step up. I know he's getting a little older, but the defenders are going to have to be razor sharp. Nathan Harrell, razor sharp. Milan Lusky, I expect to be a playmaker. Daniel Jack-John could be a sleeper in the playoffs. We know his speed. We know he can create separation. We know he's aggressive. He could be your sleeper in the playoffs. Javon Lukic, he's gonna have to step up. Mahana, defender. Sometimes he plays like a forward. He can score. I don't care. I know these guys are the 22 youth guys, but again, age is not going to make a difference. Everyone else in this league is young. Everyone in professional sports is young. I don't want to hear it. So this Union club is going to have to really step up here. And like I said, I expect this team to click on all cylinders. So, guys, I'm getting ready to wrap up the show. Saturday, Union down in Charlotte. How do you see this game playing out? Should Bradley Cornell rest guys? I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to keep these legs fresh. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. This team is really going to need a makeover. This team's really going to have to turn things around come playoff time. Like I said, the winning the Supporter Shield, and again, it's funny because I got again listen to my co-host, not knowing anything about it. What does it mean? It's funny to me. It's funny to me. But again, the Philadelphia Union have to take care of business on the road, play against Charlotte. Again, I don't care if it's tough. Get in there, do your job, handle things. I think Bradley Cornell's going to play his players, let them do their thing. And then, like I said, playoff time. I expect everyone to step up and see who you're going to play in the first round. Because that wild card round is not going to mean anything. The wild card is not going to mean anything. It's not what's going to define you here. You get. I'm hoping Chicago gets by. We got to hope and pray that Chicago loses. Like, this is what we need. We need Chicago to play. We need Chicago to play against the Columbus Crew. We need Chicago to get by. That's the best case scenario, is playing against Chicago in the best of 3 series. I don't want to play against, and I'm sorry if I sound like a scaredy cat. But again, the teams I want the Union to play against: Orlando, Chicago, Charlotte, NYCFC, Cincinnati. The teams I don't want to face: Nashville, Miami, and Columbus Crew. Teams that have this team's number, I don't want no piece of. I don't want nothing to do with those guys. I want nothing to do with them. But again, this is a little good. This is going to be a good problem to have playing against Charlotte, because they are a good team. They got a lot. Like I said, I just mentioned about the 3 playmakers that they have. See where your defense step. No. Sorry about that, everyone. A little deficiency on my end. But yeah. Well, like I said, we're going to have to see what goes on with this Philadelphia Union club. Like I said, I expect guys to step up. I expect these playmakers to come through. I expect this team to be on their A game. And I wonder who's going to rise to the occasion. Who's going to come through? This is going to be a little bit of a good test. Like I said, this is going to be a good test for the defense because Charlotte's got guys who can score goals. And this is, I hope this, this defense is not going to find, I hope they keep and foot on the gas pedal, play tough, man-to-man zone. Don't let Charlotte get any kind of separation. Don't let them get creative. Because we know Charlotte could get creative down that offensive zone. I need to see these guys step up. No excuses. None. I get it. We're not going to have Quinn Sullivan, but I feel like we can rely on Frankie Westfield to be a good facilitator. This team has plenty of good scoring options. Plenty of good scoring options. There's no reason for this team to take a back pedal. And I expect you to play Charlotte tough, but again, question of the day: what's your expectations now? And because this is where I'm putting my hat on. This is where I'm putting all my eggs in this basket, into the Union basket. Again, I've watched this Philadelphia Phillies team crumble in the biggest moments. Crumble. The Philadelphia Eagles, where I was supposed to be hanging my hat on. Looks like I have a lot more questions than answers. The Flyers and Sixers, going through. We don't know that when they're going to turn their seasons around. We don't know. But right now, and we just saw it. Just moved on from James Franklin. So again, that Penn State's been written off. But the Union have to be your team right now. Has to be the team that moves forward. This is where I'm putting my eggs at. But like I said, I'm not pulling punches with them either. If they come up short in the first round, I'm going to have issues. Because then if they lose in the first round, the War Dogs, the Phillies, and now the Union all choked away. All choked. I expect this team to be not good, but great come playoff time. Because you're the 1 seed. You got the supporter shield. Because you proved to be the best team in the MLS. So I expect a championship run. Nothing shorter. Nothing shorter. All right, guys, listen, my time is up. Guys, there's plenty of action to go on for tonight. Again, guys, let me go over all the shows that's going to be going on this weekend. Again, guys, starting off tonight. That's right. Clear the ice. Philadelphia Flyers post-game show with me tonight. That's right. I got you covered for the Flyers and the El Champions against the Florida Panthers. Then you got on Thursday, Mike Laro. It's got you covered for Flyers and Jets. Saturday, you got Matty B back in the house for Flyers and Wild. Then, of course, you guys, for all your night owls, Matty B, the man, the myth, the legend, the mayor, in Mayfair. We'll have you covered. He'll talk all the Philadelphia sports and more. He'll react. I imagine he's going to react to James Franklin. I don't know what's on Matty B's slate, but he pulls no punches. You want to talk about someone that doesn't pull no punches? He's the guy who doesn't do that at all. Then you have on Wednesdays the Pittsburgh Sports Desk with my guys, Will Atkins, Ed Quinn, Tracy. Those guys do a great job covering everything Pittsburgh sports. That's right. It's a Rap Sports covers everything PA. Pops, locks, and parlays with Mark and Paul Spencer. They do a great job for entertainment purposes only. Have a good time talking your locks of the week. Then you have on Thursdays, a little bit of a shake-up this Thursday. You have Birds Blast with Matty B, Kyle Quinn talking everything Eagles. We have the Steel City Sundays, but they'll be doing their show on Thursday. Obviously doing a pre and post game for you Steeler fans, getting you ready for Steelers. Some Steeler action out there. Guys, check them out. The Gridiron Weekly with Will, Tracy, Ed. Those guys talk everything on Thursday nights, talking everything foot pigskin. So, guys, check them out too. And, of course, to wrap up your Sunday, that's right. Birds Blast. The Birds Fly By. That's right. Mike Lauro will have you covered for Eagles post-game show. Again, Friday nights with me, the wraparound, Pat Bernard. That's right. I got you covered Friday nights, 10:30. Mike Lauro, I don't know if it's Happy Valley Huddle. Mike Lauro talking post-game Penn State shows. He's got you covered there. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to say thank you to everyone. Again, check out all the shows. My handle is going to be to myself a little later for the Flyers post-game show, guys. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff with It's a Rap Sports. Whatever stream you are, whatever social media platform that you're on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, we're there. We got you covered. Guys, have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.